owners of the Richmond office, and she was with us for, gosh, a long time. And then she went away, and then she came back home. So she is lots of knowledge and is an awesome realtor. So we'll turn it over to Jen. Tell us all about niche marketing.
Okay, so I guess I want to start with, I'm not sure if any of you all are doing niche marketing, and I don't know if you want to call it niche or niche. I call it niche too. And Tom Ferry says niches to riches. So I like that. I'm gonna go with niches. Um, and some different types of niche ideas. If you're wondering like what in the world would I do for niche marketing, would be somebody that focuses on like new construction, selling farms. Like I would really love an expert at selling farms to go to, because I am not a farm expert. I've sold a couple to my clients, but I think that would be a great wealth of knowledge for our office as somebody that focuses on farms. But then there's also geographic farms, which would be like neighborhoods or zip codes or something like that. Downtown maybe would be a geographic farm. Oh, Caitlin, you are a farm agent. So I do have somebody to go to ask questions. Awesome. That's great. And then some people maybe focus on FSBOs and expireds, investors, luxury listings. One that people may be getting into now would be like seniors that are downsizing, maybe even millennials as they're coming into the market. Maybe Christy would like something like fitness freaks. Maybe there's a niche for those people. I don't know. First-time home buyers would be another one. Estate and probate. And then what I was going to start by talking to you guys about would be like military. So obviously my husband's in the military, so I do a lot of business with military. And so when you decide that you want to focus on something, the best thing to do is first of all become an expert at that. So obviously I learned everything I could about VA loans. I picked lenders that did a lot of VA loans. And by learning about those, I also had to learn about, the big thing with VA loans is, the appraisals and what are they going to call as an issue. And for instance, peeling paint on homes built before 78 is a huge thing. So if there's any kind of peeling paint in the house or on the house or anywhere around the house, it's not going to pass the VA appraisal. That's just one of their big things. I had a deal fall through over uneven concrete because I thought it was a trip hazard. But just knowing those things and what to expect can definitely help you become the expert. Also to get designation. So there is a military relocation professional, I think that's what it's called, MRP designation that I got. But I know, so I had said something about seniors downsizing. Like I know that there is a designation for that, for the, older community. I know there's luxury designations. I'm sure Caitlin probably knows with farms, there probably is something that you all can take too. And then obviously do the research. So if you're going to do, your niche is going to be like your neighborhood, which I also farm my neighborhood. Then research everything that there is to know about it. I suggest getting involved with the HOA. My old neighborhood, I've only lived in this house for 3.5 years, but with my old neighborhood, I was like VP of the HOA or whatever. So see how you can get involved with the HOA. And this one now, my HOA meets once a month. And I definitely farm this neighborhood a ton. I don't know if you can see it because I do have a background, but I even have this postcard. Oh, there it is. That I send every year that talks about all the sales in the neighborhood. So I post them all. And then on the back, it just says, need a local expert who lives in your neighborhood, call and text me for a free home analysis. A free home analysis of your home's current worth and my unique marketing strategy. I'd love the opportunity to work with you. And then also, I just have a quick little overview of the neighborhood stats there on the back of the card too. My neighbors love that. They love to see what's going on in the neighborhood. But I was listening, actually did a little bit of research to teach this class. And what I found from a real estate coach that I listen to a lot was he said that if you decide that you're going to farm a neighborhood or farm something, that you need to take for 8 weeks, he said, send them something every week for 8 weeks and then start sending them once a month. And from what he was saying is they did this as, I guess not his team, but somebody somewhere has done this. just to see how effective it was. They were sending stuff from a fake agent, somebody that wasn't even a real estate agent, just to see how effective that was. And they sent out once a week for 8 weeks and then once a month for a year. And when everyone asked, who was the agent of choice in the neighborhood, people were saying this person's name and they're not even a realtor. So that just goes to show how effective doing something like that can be. And it was funny too, because I don't know that people love doing expireds and FSBOs, but they said that if you decided that you wanted to be do an expired, maybe do a marketing campaign that says, I always want to be number 2 because I get them sold or whatever. Like, I think that was funny. I always want to be the second agent. Nobody ever would market that they want to be the second agent, but somebody that focuses on expired listings may want that. Let's see. Another idea is to create a Facebook group. Cassie Beach is definitely a good person to reference on this. She created a group in Richmond called like Madison County Foodies or something. And it has gotten tons and tons. I think she probably has 10,000 people in that group. Well, now she's going in and saying, okay, I will give out gift cards to different restaurants and stuff. So she's visiting all these restaurants, getting them in the group. She's actually been featured on the Madison County Chamber of Commerce webpage and in different areas. They like think of her as like a celebrity now in Richmond. And when I was talking to somebody about how Cassie owned or started that group, they thought she was like a celebrity. They're like, oh gosh, you know the girl that started that group? Crazy how, and she started that right after she went to the RE/MAX convention last year. And then obviously COVID hit. So everybody was wanting to know, where can we get takeout and stuff like that. So it was perfect timing for her. But just create a Facebook group. I mean, if you're farming a neighborhood, obviously there probably already is a neighborhood Facebook group. But if it's something that you just want to create one, like I'm trying to think of, I don't know, senior group. Something about like a resource for them to go to if they have questions, create that Facebook group. You can do blogs too. We had an agent that used to work in our office that got most of his business off of blogging, believe it or not. I think a lot of people, when they will Google like moving into the area or something like that, your blog is going to show up at the top of searches. So blogging is a good way of doing it. Obviously doing videos, postcards. But okay. And then, so like I said, I'm trying to think of something that like a promise, like, okay, they say to make a promise or guarantee that nobody else will make. So one thing that people have done, I've never done this, but it'll say like, if we don't sell your house in 90 days, then we will buy it. Well, that's a niche. I guess that's niche marketing because, there's like people think, oh, those are those people that buy houses. If you don't want to go buying a bunch of houses, although I do think that you'll sell them in this market within 90 days. I don't think you're gonna have to worry about buying houses, but it just basically says make a promise or guarantee that other people won't make. So like with me, with military, I would offer them a discount on their closing costs. And I was affiliated with a group called Heroes by Choice to do that. So just if you can come up with some out of the box idea to do for that group, maybe say, I'll put your house on TV. I don't know if that's even a thing anymore, but if that's something that you can do. And then do more for the same, which they had said to say, okay, maybe you're a stager. I think Susie, you would be great for this. To say like, I'm an organizer. Like I'm pretty sure she's a professional organizer, even though she doesn't claim it. And say, so I will come in and help you organize your house, or stage it, and maybe have somebody that's a stager come in, and that's something you can offer. And that is sort of what sets you apart and makes you different. And when you're trying to pick a niche, think of who your ideal client would be. So if you just like to work with luxury listings, then maybe you need to go get a luxury designation and start working on those people. But they did say, if you do work on a luxury, if like luxury listings is your niche and you want to pick a neighborhood based on that, pick one that does have higher turnover. Otherwise, you're going to be wasting your money on a neighborhood that doesn't have a ton of turnover. You don't want to do that. Let's see here. Another niche would be some people with low credit scores. So there is an agent out there whose wife she specializes, what she does is she helps people with credit scores. So maybe if you could find somebody that you could partner with that does something like that. Obviously, this woman that I know that does it, her husband's a realtor, but so we couldn't use her. But if you could find somebody who would help people, get their credit scores up, you could totally have a niche like that, and then be that agent. You would help them get the business to the person that works on the credit scores, and then obviously you could work with that buyer. And then they said something about don't just do a home buying seminar and name it that, because that is too generic, I guess. So there was an agent at one time. I'm sure that a lot of there is a radon issue in Beaumont. It seems like every house in Beaumont needs a radon mitigation system. So there was an agent that went out and did a seminar about radon that told them about it and how they can mediate it and what would happen if there's a radon inspection and it comes up high. And a lot of the general public doesn't have a lot of knowledge of radon. So I thought that was brilliant. And he did it around Beaumont area, which was his geographic farm.
I have a question.
Yes, thank you. Because I just went through that all.
Do you do, in terms of like with your military, and I know that it comes from JC, obviously, but what do you do to keep yourself in front of them? I mean, obviously JC and the people that he knows know that you do real estate, but do you do mailings to them, or how do you address that you're a realtor to the people who maybe don't know you yet? Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's a good question. So initially, when I first started in real estate, I started mailing them like football schedules or basketball schedules, and I got in trouble because let me back up, because I'm the family readiness group leader for our unit. So I had everybody's addresses. So I actually mailed them all schedules, and then I got in trouble for doing that. But the good news is, even though I got in trouble and didn't do it again, everybody at that point knew I was a real estate agent. So I was good there. So sometimes you just do it, ask for forgiveness. But I was also the family readiness group leader of our unit, which meant that I scheduled events, which we haven't done a year at least for obvious reasons. But we would schedule events for the families to attend. So it would be like a family day where we went out to the parks, Christmas parties, Thanksgiving, stuff like that. So that was a way to get out in front of people as well. When I talked about Facebook groups, I did start a Facebook group for our unit. So that was another way of getting out information to them, but also staying in front of them. If you're not on their radar until they have a need, then you always need to be in front of them, because sure, they may not be buying right now, but if you always stay in front of these people one way or another, whether it's mailings, Facebook group, whatever it is, when they do need a realtor, they're going to think of you because you're always out in front of them. So you just have to focus on, and I think less is more too. Like, I'm the type of person who I'm like, when I was looking at this list, I'm like, oh, I want to do luxury, and I want to do seniors, and I want to do millennials. You can't do them all. There's just no way. So just focus on, one or two and get really good at it. And then, become that expert, get the designations that you need. I feel like a designation to help, luxury, if luxury is going to be your niche, I feel like a luxury designation would be more beneficial than just a general buyer's agent designation. I mean, I'm just guessing, but I would think that would help to become an expert. Investors are huge as a, I know a lot of people that use that as their niche. I mean, you've got to be able to spot out good deals for people right now because it's such a highly competitive market. So to be able to work with them and work the numbers for them, I think is a good niche to use too.
Jennifer, I have a question for you about when you're farming neighborhoods and you showed us that postcard. Are all of those your personal past sales, or are those just all the sales in the neighborhood in general?
No, yeah, it's just all the sales. So it'll say like, I think this one is from 2019. And I'm sorry, I guess I could turn my thing off. But do you see where it says like 2019 sales? Yeah. And then when on the other side, it says L-bar sales.
Okay.
So yeah,
in the fine print somewhere, do you have to include the fact that you weren't, an agent in all of these sales? Like, do you have to write something about that?
I haven't, because I'm just giving them general information. I'm not saying that I sold it.
Okay.
I do have fine print that says disregard if you're working with a realtor.
Okay.
make sure that you put something like that, because you don't want to, if you accidentally send it to somebody whose house is on the market, you don't want to make any other agent angry.
Gotcha.
But I would send stuff like that. I would send, there is, if you guys go to my real estate page, Jennifer Parsons, Realtor, Central Kentucky, there is a way that you can go on to Cloud CMA, and you can get a link and put it on social media that says, what is my home worth? And they put in their address, and it sends them the info, and then it sends you their info, the people that are asking about it. So I have that as the first thing on my business page on Facebook. I put that in my neighborhood page too. So I had a lot of people contact me, and they wanted to know what their house was worth. And it's really easy. If you want to know how to get that link, Paul helped me do it. Paul did it for me. Well, he helped me do it. I actually did it, sorry, but he helped show me where it was, because I would have never been able to figure that out. But I think that's a great way too, I mean, sure, send them stuff, but then also to have a way to communicate with them. I put in my neighborhood page, anytime I have a listing come up, and I always do video in my, I don't know if you guys do any videos for your listings, but I always do video for my neighborhood. So I can post the video, and they can say, oh, well, this agent, she does videos too. What else do I do? I'm trying to think. The other day I had somebody looking for a house, and they wanted to live specifically in my neighborhood. So I posted, is anybody thinking about selling? I need off-market listings. And I got like 5 of them. So post stuff like that sometimes too, saying, hey, I've got people looking for houses. Is anybody thinking about selling? I even said your house may be worth more than you think it is. But that's a good point, Susie. I hope I don't get in trouble. I mean, maybe I should post, I did not sell these. But we did put on their LBAR. These are LBAR neighborhood statistics, so that they know that it's not me selling them all. Anybody else have a question?
I do. I have another one. You mentioned like the, was it the Homes for Heroes or the military group? So obviously there's a lot of them. I know that there's a lot of investor groups and stuff. It would probably, do you think, be more beneficial to like join one of those where you have to pay kind of the referral fee, and then the rebate goes to the client from that company, and then you could kind of whittle it down so you don't have to pay that big fee, and then do it on your own with an inducement?
Yeah, I think the reason you would do something like Homes for Heroes or Heroes by Choice would be to get the word out. But if you're great at marketing yourself anyways, and you don't need them to get the word out, then yeah, you can just do it as an inducement, like you said, Kim. And you can say, even if it's just something like, I just give a home warranty out to people, because we can't get sellers to buy those things anymore. You can say, okay, for all military clients, I'll give a free home warranty, and then that's your way of saying I have a discount. Or I'm doing something for you. And when you're deciding on your niche, think of who your ideal client would be. Who do you like to work with? Obviously, you don't want to go after people that you don't like to work with. So, think about who that is and what you could do to help them. Some people love first-time home buyers. They're very needy as far as the process. They don't know what's going on, and you have to hold their hand, every step of the way. But some people think, wow, that's way better than having a know-it-all who tries to tell me how to do my job, so it's just think about the type of people that you like working with, and then pick that way, and then think of what you can offer them and how you're going to promote it. You absolutely don't have to go, because if you go join Homes for Heroes, which I didn't, that's why I went to Heroes by Choice, was because they were charging like, I think it was 25%, you pay the buyer, but then you pay Homes for Heroes another 10%. And at the end of the day, it was just, I'm thinking, I'm getting these clients anyways. Why would I pay somebody all this money just to get them for me? So I didn't join Heroes by Choice. Or I'm sorry, Homes for Heroes. There's 2 of them. There's 2 different ones. Another thing too,
I'm sorry.
I thought about this, but another thing too is I partnered with a lender when I did do this, and they would give a free, so I was giving 25% of my commission toward closing costs. Just so you guys know, it's not like I was giving them any money. It was going toward their closing costs. And so if I got the seller to pay the closing costs, I wasn't paying it. It was only toward closing costs. But also I had a lender that was giving an appraisal, a free appraisal. So we kind of partnered together. And then I had, at the time, there was a title company that she was also giving money off of their closing costs as well. So they got a really good deal by using the three of us. Not that, I can tell somebody you have to use somebody, but I just said, hey, we are all partners with Heroes by Choice. And if you use us, you can get discounts 3 different ways. Sorry, Kim, go ahead. I heard you say something about luxury.
No, Ben, do you have a question?
Yeah, I don't have a question. It's just more of a statement. Another big niche or niche, however you want to say it. Obviously, I'm big on social media right now. Like on TikTok, there's 2 people that focus solely on college kids instead of them paying rent that they can buy a home. So that could be another huge market right there. New grads almost graduated because it is blowing up on TikTok right now. Like they don't even know that they can do this.
Yeah, that's a good point. And also the parents to buy investment property for their kids,
Exactly. Yeah.
It's definitely going to be a lot better, more beneficial as for a parent to buy, rather than pay rent, to buy a house and then sell it and make a profit.
Exactly.
That's not bad. That's a great idea too. Does anybody have any ideas of different niches that they're doing, or any ideas of any that they would want to do? I'm just curious.
I'll make a comment. I tried for a while and I kind of set it aside for one major reason, but I was doing niche for seniors downsizing. I seem to get a lot of senior clients. I love them. They're my favorites. But I always ran into a problem with Facebook advertising directly to them because you can't select specific demographics. So I need to get with policy if there's a way around that. But if you're just trying to do Facebook ads on your own and trying to select like certain age demographics or even genders, you can't do that with Facebook ads. So of course, for a lot of them, mailing is a better option anyway, but I thought I'd throw that out there. If anybody was going to target seniors, you do have to go a mailing route.
That's a good point. I don't think that you can do anything to change that on Facebook because of fair housing. What about starting a Facebook group for, like, maybe call it senior resources, obviously something way more creative than that, where then you can get different people in the group that can give them different resources for things they may need. I'm sure you know more than me, but maybe start a group with your clients that were seniors and then tell them to grow it and invite their friends.
I reached out to a lot of senior citizen or senior homes, like not assisted retirement neighborhoods, I guess is the better word, because not really assisted living, but and of course they don't accept any kind of bonus for referring you or anything like that. You can't really, you can gift them, they can't do anything like that, but made some good friends that way and some contacts. So finding local places like that and just reaching out in person was really good for me. I got several clients that way. Yeah,
that is good. That's a good source to get clients. I hadn't even thought about that, because obviously people that are downsizing may be going into assisted living
and needing to sell their original property. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Anybody else working?
I can tell you in my neighborhood is very active on Nextdoor, and a lot of the members on Nextdoor are surprisingly seniors because I know who they are, and I wonder if that would be a great place. I know I see a couple times, every once in a while I see a realtor post something in my neighborhood Nextdoor, but it's not huge. Like there's definitely not anyone in my neighborhood who is farming or anything like that here, unless they're not putting anything to me, which I'm not a member of LBAR, so they wouldn't know, but it's interesting.
Yeah, that is a good point. Nextdoor, if you guys aren't on Nextdoor, get on that too. So see if you have a neighborhood Facebook group. If you don't, start one and then get on Nextdoor. That's definitely a good thing. Distressed properties is another niche. I don't know if it's anything that's big right now, but when I first started in real estate, and Susie knows this, I used to sell tons of short sales. And it just got to the point where everybody in the office didn't want to deal with them and they were just sending them all to me. So I actually started my career on short sales. I did tons of those. And if those ever come back, that's a good niche to do. And there are designations that you can do for those as well.
And she's wonderful at them too.
Thank you. Let's see. What else did I want to tell you guys? I did say earlier, like if you're going to do a home buying seminar, don't just name it that. Come up with something creative. I really thought the radon one was a good idea. That's a great example, but I'm trying to think of something else. Like if you were to do, Tara, like a seniors one, come up with some reason to get them out of the house and give them information. Obviously with COVID, they're not coming. But maybe even do like a Zoom and partner with somebody. I'm trying to think. I don't know who you could even partner with, but like I would maybe partner with a lender for military and have them talk about VA loans. You know, we could do something like that on Zoom and then just post, hey, we're doing this Zoom meeting where we're going to help seniors in the community come up with resources for what, like Medicaid, Medicare, maybe that kind of stuff. I don't know. You would probably know more than me, but
I don't know too many seniors who Zoom. Most of my seniors will barely text. Like, barely. And only maybe 50% will allow me to use .loop.
Maybe I need to go after this market because I feel ancient. So we need to find an expert on, I mean, I don't even know. Like they like Facebook though, right? So you could do Facebook Lives.
Yes, I can do Facebook Lives with them. That's definitely true. I can do that.
That's funny. I hadn't thought about the fact that they don't know how to, they probably don't know how to Zoom. They wouldn't know what that is. Anybody else? Is anybody else working with a niche that they want to talk about?
I'm not currently, but I'm getting ready to take over my sister's condo building and I'm going to start selling everything in there. They don't know that yet, but that's going to work out.
Send them once a week for 8 weeks and then every month. Because if fake realtors can become the realtor of choice, then you definitely can. Let's see.
Questions? Jennifer, have you ever run into anybody when you were like another fellow realtor as you were, I guess, working your niching? You were niching. Have you ever run into a fellow realtor who's doing the same thing?
That's a good question. There were a couple people at the time in the military that actually got into real estate. I don't think they are anymore. And to be honest with you, that is one of the reasons that I started Heroes by Choice, Heroes by Choice. I get the hero programs confused, sorry. But that's one of the reasons why I started that was I was like, oh my gosh, there's somebody internally that has their real estate license now. I'm going to start offering closing cost discounts. Of course, that person, they're not in the business anymore, but there were a couple of them that did that. So yeah, I guess I have. There are a couple agents in my neighborhood too that have their real estate license. I've just outmarketed them. And, I always post stuff in my Facebook page. I always attend neighborhood events. And that's another thing, like we put on a car show because a lot of our neighbors have like older cars. And I had a girl who she has lived here for a long time and she was like, let's do like a car show. Everybody loves that. So we've done events in the neighborhood. That's a good thing to do too, is if you can think of something that they would like to do to bring them out. And like I said, with the FRG, I did the events with the military, but with the neighborhood, if you have a neighborhood clubhouse or, gosh, I don't know, you could even say, let's all go. I know that some people are renting out movie theaters right now and you say, let's all go to the movies. I think with COVID, that's a little harder. You could probably only do 20 people, but if you just come up with ideas to do events in your neighborhood and market those to them, that's a good way to get them too. But yes, I have come across other agents and you just have to out market them.
So does anybody else have a niche that they are actively working? No. Well, go find those niches.
I can talk about my farm niche if you want me to.
Sure.
Just bear with me and the baby. So I've ridden horses since I was 10 and I've competed quite a bit. Actually, that's how I got to Kentucky, was horses, other than coming for Asbury. So I still have 2 horses and board them. So I I have basically a barn of people that I've been marketing to for, gosh, I think I've been there 10 years now. I think I've done at least 12 deals in my barn through the people. And then just through just knowing people and relationships. And then like around Christmas time, I would just leave them schedules and like horse treats and stuff. And then through them getting into the horse industry, because some of them work. One is, some of you will laugh at this because it's my whole world, but you've got farriers, you've got people who are vets, you've got people who do horse massage, they do horse feed sales, they do retraining, they work in the farms. So I've sold farms through other people, just growing that network and knowing that, as well as more people in the horse industry. And so that's definitely something that I have the experience in. And I tell people that have horses, like, you want to use a horse realtor because we actually know what we're looking at. We can actually advise what's best for certain horses and what's not, what types of grass, what types of certain things to avoid in the farm, kind of what your dreams are in the farm industry. So I'm trying to grow that more and more, just because that's kind of my niche. And Trudy, my partner, has kind of grown a lot of knowledge off of that. But I think because I've got a farm under contract already this year and one going up, that came from a relationship that over time developed, and another realtor wasn't a farm realtor and it fell through and they came to me. So I think that's like my biggest thing is, okay, how do I continue to develop that? Because obviously people know the Biedermans, they know the bigger horse companies per se. Not all of them are horse agents, but and they just default to them. So trying to grow kind of a separate niche that's not just the default realtors, I guess. So yeah, I don't know. That's kind of what I'm doing, and trying to grow more and more and continue to do.
So how do you market for farm clients? What are you doing?
A lot of it is, I'm trying to figure out how to do that more. A lot of it is my previous clients, and then my hub of where I keep my horses. A lot of horse Facebook pages that I'm a part of that I comment on. A lot of just networking with those clients specifically on those things. And just trying to stay up to date on what's available and what is coming up. So yeah, I'm trying to build that some more, but that's been a niche that's been growing and growing, based off of my COI, basically, I guess. But I love your ideas too about the neighborhood stuff, because we just moved to a new neighborhood, and I never thought about joining the HOA. I don't know, never thought about it. I love that idea. And then neighborhood stuff. My neighborhood's not like a big time neighborhood, but nobody's prospecting it, and I think that would be a good way to develop another sphere of influence as well. So
yeah, definitely. I've even thought about, I've got a girl, I'm going to be in a group, and I've got a girl, she owns a stereo place, and she said that they will bring out like a big TV screen and do movie night outside, obviously in the spring and summer. Because of COVID, everybody's scared to be, too close to people. So she would come and do like a neighborhood movie night in a court somewhere. So I thought about doing that, because it's very limited the amount of events that we can do right now with COVID.
yeah,
that's an idea. I think that once COVID clears, we need to pick our niche and then go have a big party somewhere. When I say clear, I guess once everybody's gotten the vaccine and we're clear to, actually be around people again. Maybe have a huge like COVID release party or something with your niche. I think that would be a great idea. I think a lot of people just want to be around people again. Anybody else have any questions? I'm not sure I went over everything with you guys. The big part is just pick the people you want to be around and the thing that you want to do. Like, I don't know that I could ever do FSBOs because I just don't like dealing with for sale by owners. But I do there's an agent in our office that loves them. He does a great job with them. Not me. They're not my people. But so find your people that you like, and then market to them. I'm trying to think. I feel like there was something else I was going to tell you guys, but I don't know. Does anybody have any designations that they like for marketing or niche marketing? Sorry. I know there's like an investor designation. I got it years ago. I got the CDPE, which was distressed property expert, but then I think it was like CIAS, certified investor agent specialist or something. So if you guys want to go after investors, there's designations for that. There's luxury,
Short sales.
short sales and
I got the SFR as once we started to be quarantined at the beginning of all the crazy last year. I kind of went designation crazy, and I think I got like 6 or 7 of them. But one of them was the short sale and foreclosure resource designation. And although it's not really useful in this type of market, I think that once the bubble pops and things kind of turn around, I think that will be useful, because I do believe that there will people that'll probably be in a little bit of trouble once everything is said and done and COVID is over, or losing jobs. And I think that it'll be helpful for people to have someone to rely on that specializes in short sales and foreclosures, and that can help guide them through that process.
yeah, I agree with that definitely, because I think that when short sales were big, people had to prove a hardship, and COVID is a huge hardship. So I think that people will. The only thing is, I think it'll have to be people that have not been in their houses for a long time, because of the price increases are so crazy that I can't imagine somebody not having enough equity in their home to sell it. But it would be these newer buyers that, are paying outrageous prices for their housing, and now they can't sell it for more. I think that eventually will, like you said, it'll all just come together after COVID. Well, I don't know. Kim, you got anything else?
No other questions. You guys, this has been a great meeting, and thanks everybody that shared. It was great. Jennifer is awesome and has so much knowledge that if y'all have questions about this, just holler at her. So, and the designations, that's the awesome thing to get, is as many as you can, because even though you think they're just letters and no one knows what they are, you can still market that. So
Where do you get those designations at? Are they classes on LBAR, or are you paying an online school to get these?
Go to Remax University.
Okay.
Go to Remax University, but they have them on like CE. What is it? The CE shop, and yeah. Where else, Jennifer?
Okay.
I think you're right, Remax University, and I would just Google it. So if you're thinking like luxury designations, just Google luxury real estate designations or something like that.
Okay, great. Thank you all.
Yeah, I mean, you can probably find something. I know, like I said, I know there's a senior one, there's investors, there's distressed properties, new construction. There's probably one too. If anybody wants to specialize in that, let that become your niche and get a couple builders. Yeah, there's definitely quite a few. I don't know if there's like a first time home buyer, but there might be. Yeah, I think a downtown niche would be really cool to have, like an agent that specializes downtown, if we have one. Sorry, I'm excited about Caitlin being our farm person, because I've sold a couple farms. I've got one under contract right now, and I needed you. So I'm glad to have.
Downtown condo niche would be cool, but it sucks to have to park at most of these places. That's like the worst part about showing them, is having to figure out parking before you get there.
I know, and I'm always that person that's arriving like right on time. So I'm, yeah, you're right. I got to go figure out before how I'm going to get there, where I'm going to park at. Yeah. But I do think that would be a great niche.
Missy, Susie had put on there KentuckyRealtorInstitute.com.
Yes, I wrote it down already.
Okay.
Yes, thank you all so much for sharing your experience with me. I appreciate it, your knowledge.
Thanks for the class, Jennifer.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. It's good to see you all.
Thank you very much.
Everybody stay warm and safe.
Thanks,
Jennifer.
Bye. Thank you all.
Bye.